No excuses. Take your work seriously. Of course, when the doctor tells you you can call anytime, please don't take advantage of that and call him and say, I was just watching this on TV. What do you think? Please, that's not what this is. This is for emergency. And most times you may never have to make that call. But just to show you, it's a mindset that the doctor has. And there are a few other professionals who have that same mindset, who would say, I'm working on this project for you. Call me 24/7. Now, there are people who say, call me 24/7, and you call them 1, nothing. 2, nothing. 3, nothing. 24, nothing. Not to even talk about 7. Call me anytime. You never get him. Line is always engaged. Or you leave messages and leave messages and leave WhatsApp. And they told you, call me anytime. If that's how you are managing your work, we will learn later, you're not going to do well. And it will not be the devil. It will not be demons. It will not be your grandmother. It will not be a curse. It will not even be that the nation is hard. It simply means you didn't apply yourself. You know, when I started ICGC, it was during the hardest time in Ghana. Those of you who are old enough to know, those days we had chains that were attributed to our president at that time. People were growing lean. People were emaciated. We were eating yellow corn. People would go to queue for corn before it is cooked. We were having our bath with some miserable soap, corrosive. The stores were empty. Shelves were empty. That is the situation I was called to. You can't even talk to your members about giving, because you look at their face and you hear they are bleating, meh, and you know, this one I can't tell him to give. They said, time for giving, meh, meh. They are crying. You can't even tell them to give. All you have to do is pour your heart and pour your heart and pour your heart and pour your heart and pour your heart, because it's not reward time. Attend to them. And why does the passage says we should care for our flocks? Why did it say that? I want to read the verse again. It says, be diligent to know the state of your flocks and attend to your herds. For means because. This is the because. There's a place in Abeka called Abeka because. Because why should we attend to the flock? Because riches are not forever, nor does a crown endure to all generations. Why are we supposed to pay attention to the flock and to the herds? Because money can easily be wasted. That's why. Money can easily be wasted. As good as money is, it can easily be lost. When you seek for money without diligently working for it, you will waste it. I can guarantee you. Any money we make that we did not earn will be easily wasted. It's the reason why thieves continue stealing till they are caught. Because they go and take people's labor and they don't go and invest it. They steal the money and overnight blow it. They have to go the next night to go and steal again. Because when you don't earn something, you waste it. Anybody who sweats for their money doesn't waste money. People who make money easily waste their money. And you can apply it in many ways. Anytime you see somebody frivolously using money, wastefully using money, they are earning the money in an easy way. Because if you earn it and it's your blood, you won't go and buy things with it that you don't need. So, the passage says money can easily be wasted. So, although we all need money, although we want money, that should not be our focus. If you pursue the money and never pursue work, whatever money you have will be wasted. But if you pursue work and labor, whatever money you have will be invested. Money can be easily noticed, easily wasted. Secondly, it says the crown is not forever. What does that mean? It means position and privilege are not enduring. Crown refers to high position, privileges. If you are looking for crown, you'll be disappointed in life. You know, when I started this church, right from the beginning, I was called senior pastor. And the reason was very practical because there were other pastors with me. Our church was small, but we had a couple of other people who were pastors. And to distinguish the pastors, I was called the senior pastor, and the others were the pastors. And then when we started planting churches a few years down the line, I was called a general overseer because I was overseeing churches. It's not a title, a crown to aspire to. My position as senior pastor is secure. I've been in this position for 38 years. I've never been promoted. Same title for 38 years. There's nothing like senior pastor or chief senior pastor or major senior pastor. No promotion, same thing. 38 years. General overseer, probably about 35 or so years. No promotion. That should make me then say, well, I have the position. But my mindset, which I've had all these years, is that although I'm not interviewed for my job and nobody determines my promotion, I must justify my inclusion. I must justify. So every day, when I stand here, every Sunday when I am preaching here, I am on trial. I am on trial. If I don't do well, you will leave. You follow what I'm saying? I cannot say, well, I've been a successful pastor for 38 years, so the people, of course, must come here. Yes, they must appreciate what I've done for 38 years. But that is not guaranteed. The only guarantee is I must take care of my vocation so that when I stand here, I will be given another week. And next week, I have to come for test again, and I'll be given another week. And I go week by week, justifying myself. Now, there are people who see life as a title. And you give them a title, the West will come out of them. And sometimes there are pastors who take on high-sounding titles. and all of a sudden dress a certain way, walk a certain way, talk a certain way, behave a certain way, and never think about the voice and the face of the flock. And they think they can eat title. But nobody eats title. Listen, you can call yourself managing director. You can call yourself global director. You can call yourself intergalactic director. You can call yourself president of the universe. Well, choose it. It's free. But this passage says the crown does not endure. That is why I don't accumulate titles, because it is totally irrelevant to your future. I can call myself by whatever title, it doesn't matter. Your work will have to speak. And if your work does not speak, title will not endure for you. And those of you who get so fascinated with titles and positions and want to walk a certain way, somebody is walking this way, he just walks nicely. And then he's made bishop. All of a sudden, foolishness has entered his head. Foolishness. Listen, don't be in a hurry to impress people with your titles and with your crown. Even if somebody promotes you to an office, you must justify the promotion. You must justify it. In this country, when somebody wins a position, maybe went to parliamentary elections, and then he wins, and then people will pour white powder on him. In other words, it's finished. It's finished. We're finished. We're finished. Somebody's made a minister of state, pour white powder. It's finished. Because somehow we think the title is the job. But I learned from this proverb, the title is not a job and the money is not a job. My job is to attend to my flocks and pay attention to them, to my vocation, to the company, to the group, the organization I belong to, and to the reputation I'm building, so I can have a reputation of somebody who can be trusted at every time to deliver.